everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show is this the AEW Ring Report. And what AEW Ring Report we have for you? Let's get to the rundown of some of the matches coming up right here. Mark Davis taking on Will Ospreay in the main event. And a Mexico City street fight. We'll see that match. Plus, in AEW Trios Championship action, the man defend the titles against Hangman Page and Bandido. We'll see that coming up. Kyle Fletcher defends the international title against Speedball Mike Bailey. Another women's trio match as Mercedes Moné teams up with the Divine Intervention to take on Willow Nightingale, the women's champion, and Brawling Bruce. Plus, Pepperstone takes on Chris Stanley. And another trios, man. There's so many trio matches, it's ridiculous. But we're going to get into this. Jericho teams up with a lot of CNL that stars against the Dark House family. And man, another 8-man tag team match. The Bum Bucks teaming up with Edge and Christian. They'll have against each other for the World Tag Team titles against the Death Riders. The Tommaso Ciampa, Andrade, and Commander beat for the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet at All In. We got all this started right here, right now on the Pro Wrestling Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dixie here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation. You can hashtag Pro Wrestling. Get connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is scared. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. We ain't gonna waste no time whatsoever. We're gonna kick things off on the Pro Wrestling Show. Right there right now. Yeah. Get things started. All right. We start with this right here. Looks like the Death Riders was in action. And we can tell right here the Death Riders was in action right here. They went against, you can tell here John Moxley and them getting themselves together and getting themselves set up. You see right here, Moxley. Death Riders won, I meant to say, against Edge, Christian, the Bucks. So there's gonna be a lot of issue between Christian, the Bucks, and them. How they gonna coexist? Well, we get this right here. Commander went against Andrade and against somebody else, but we kind of know now Andrade is now the #1 content. Get the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match and All In. Well, that's got ruined after MJF came out of nowhere. MJF making his presence felt, attacked Andrade and laid out Andrade. Andrade didn't see that one coming. So MJF may be entering in the Battle Royal, the Gauntlet match, and say, and then he was holding up his former AEW championship. And as we repeat right now, MJF is not the official AEW champion. Kenny Omega is. I don't know why he came out there with his belt. No, he's not the official champion, but he wants to parade around with it just to say he that should have been his moment at Wembley coming up, but it's not going to be his moment. He's going to miss out. MJF playing. Speaking of that, you see 6-woman tag team action. Mercedes Moné team up Divine Intervention to take on Willow Nightingale and the Brawling Burks. Man, that was Willow and her team won, getting the victory over the Brutes and Mercedes Moné. And Willow's trying to get on the Mercedes skin. But where we go with this right here. Kyle Fletcher defending the international championship against number one contender, Speedball Mike Bailey, the number one contender for the international championship, came in his own Mexican man, but just wasn't enough for Speedball. Speedball lost to Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey. So we see that going on. Also, too, we heard 6-man tag team matches. Kevin Knight, the Don Callis family, Okada, and I forgot his other dude's name. They was in action tonight. And it was like they went against Jericho and his team. I think Darby Allin and all them. And they won. So Darby Allin continues that momentum for his team with Jericho. Jericho trying to bring in a blast from the past, wearing his Lionheart gear that he used to wear. I didn't know Jericho. I said, what the world? Jericho always want to be the Madonna of wrestling, reinvent himself like him and the Undertaker. But speaking of that, Chris Stanley was in action. Chris Stanley took on Purple Bone tonight. Chris Stanley took on Purple Bone tonight. Uh, Looks like Purple Bone won her match over Chris Stanley and got the bell ringing. But we get this right here. Huge trios tag team time after the man. Kong, Ricochet, and Terry Young defend the tag team, the 6-man trios tag team titles against Hangman Adam Page, Bandido, and Brody King. Throughout the whole time, man, Brody King really showed what he was all about. He leaped up the gates of agony and dropped them down like a bad habit and sent Ricochet out the ring. But the gates of agony didn't keep those titles for long. The demand meant to say, now we see right here, Bandino, Broly, and Hangman are now the new 6-man trios tag team titles. We'll see if they try to, the demand will try to get those belts back. But it's gonna be kind of tough and hard to get it back once you so used to winning it. And they really won it last week. I mean, what was the point for them to keep the belts, not win the belts, if they weren't gonna keep it that long over a week? Now you tell me that. Where we go with this right here? More Will Ospreay, no one contender for the World Tag Team Champions for the World Championship, went against his former best friend Mark Davis. You can tell right here, Mark Davis, and you see right here, Will Ospreay, bloody, right there, but got the win. They got the victory over Mark Davis. Mark Davis didn't see that one coming. Will Ospreay gaining momentum as he head towards his championship match against Kenny Omega at All In. So looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing that. But this AEW was in Mexico, so I mean, it really wasn't too crazy about it tonight, but kind of got an idea of what was going down. All right, that's gonna do it for the AEW Ring Report from Mexico, down in Mexico, where AEW's at. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. Thanks for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report.